What's happening, buddy?
It's good.
Sorry about that. I don't know where my microphone is, so I've just got back, walked in the door. I've supposed to have taken the missus away for the weekend. I've been the whole time recording, like Tatajuva stuff. I've had Mike and Ross on. I just put the episode up there. She wasn't very happy. wasn't quite the romantic weekend she was hoping for.
Is it a special week for you guys, or?
No. Just mate. I've just been so busy dude. I'm just so busy these days with the Megapod and everything.
Yeah.
I said, let's go away for the weekend, mate. And the whole time I was like, talking to people, and I just put the episode up now, man. I mean, I just wanted 20 minutes from both guys, just to do a bit of a wrap up, So it was just a little bit of a chaotic afternoon, Took the dog to the park and then rushed back and finished it off, Usual stuff. Yeah. How are you? How's the new job?
It's good. I enjoy it. It's it's a lot of work. I can control pretty much how much I work and a little bit when I work. So I'm trying to have like a schedule, calling times and then meeting times and planning times and everything. So back to the working. Yeah. But it's fun, and at least I'm trying to make a difference in the world in terms of sustainability and helping, helping that part of, hopefully a better future. So, I enjoy it. Yeah, it's really good. And the responses so far are actually amazing. So it's been an awesome week. Let's say that. I mean, good week for working. The kids, actually, they are off school this week. It's like an active spring break here. So I spent some time with them as well. We had the spring coming here. It's really warm. I've been on the...
It just went from cold to warm instantly. I was getting sick of seeing snow kiting videos.
Exactly.
Like, the world was just saying every man and his dog was doing snow kiting, snow winging on ice skates. I was like, oh my god, do I have to see any more snow stuff this year? Just seemed to be the medium of choice, right, for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's been really good. We usually don't get that much snow, at least from up in here in the north, in the Nordics, etc. Not that much ice and snow, to be honest. It's I think it's 5 or 6 years since we had a decent amount of ice and snow where I live.
But you're in the south though, right?
Yeah, I'm in the south of Sweden. So if you go up north, it's amazing up there. It's like pow all the way. It's been a really good season for them as well. But we always have snow up in mid to north of Sweden, of course.
Yeah.
But but we have been able to be out and kiting on the ice. I made a vlog about kiting on the ice as well. I had some amazing shots there with the sun going down. Really,
that's right.
Yeah, fantastic. And I actually tried winging on the ice as well. First time I held it, I fell flat on the ice.
I've been attacked by winging podcasts these days, man.
Oh yeah.
One of the winging podcasts actually asked me to come on the podcast, and I need to call them after this to say, listen, thank you, but I don't know anything. I won't be able to talk with any knowledge at all about winging.
Oh yeah. No.
He's like, no, let's just come on anyway. I'm like, for what?
It's your name they want.
To have the wing pit, and that exactly, maybe he wants to springboard, but or does he want to use his opportunity to belittle us?
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. I saw that one of my friends is he's quite big in the wing industry, and he's part of our podcast as well. And they're gonna have, who was it? Was it was it Cabrinia? No, I don't know. Remember, one of the big names, founders of one of the kite brands.
John Modica.
No, I can check while we talk. But it's fun to see that industry is growing as well, and some new names are popping up as well. Podcasts and everything.
Yeah, I think there's two, both German. I think mainly German podcasts, right? So that's
this one I think is because he's a Swede.
Sweden, Germany.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where he's podcast. Robbie Nash. Sorry, yeah, it's Robbie Nash. They're going to have on the podcast. The Wing Club. Yeah,
Wing Club. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Oh, Robbie Nash. That's good.
Yeah,
that's a big name.
Yeah,
I've tried to get him on my podcast. I haven't managed to get him on, but mate,
for him, maybe it's a bigger, to be part of.
Yeah, sure.
New industry or something.
I saw somewhere talking the other day that they had a guy on that the wing surf experience or kite wing experience or the wing experience. And the guys on Hawaii were saying they were selling 30 wings to every kite. 30 wings to every kite. Yeah. But again, that is a lot of windsurfers coming across.
Yeah, I think so.
And also I kind of think that winging, I'm so sick of talking about winging and kite surfing are not the same sport.
No,
they're not the same sports. They're different. They're completely different sports. So that's what I'm sticking to. But I do feel like I've probably missed out on the winging. I need to get a wing.
You know what? I'm actually thinking about it too, but I don't think I will substitute my days on the water with a kite for winging instead. I think what I do like the wing since tried on the ice on skates, that was much better than riding with just for riding. It was better than riding with a kite. So I enjoy that quite a lot, and I can see myself doing winging on like a skateboard on a big parking lot or something like that, but not to substitute my time, as I said, with a kite on water. I'm not there yet. I don't think
maybe I'll try and jam a wing from someone and go up around on my skateboard and film it.
Yeah. It's a completely different feeling, with I wouldn't say that, as you said, it's a different sport. I wouldn't compare them. I have tried it on a foil board as well, a bigger board, but it was really hard. I didn't really get up and got the feeling of how it is to ride it. But I'm going to try it for sure. I have the opportunity because I have the gears that I can try a couple of times every year, so I will for sure do that. But yeah. All right, bigger kitely, huh? That was amazing.
Amazing. I've just literally got off the phone from Mike and Ross, and I mean,
how stoked are those guys?
Oh, unbelievable! Ross is Ross. Look, when I said to Ross, compare this to the Megaloop, and he's like, it's unbelievable. I think it's the first time a South African's won on a big event on South African soil. That's always been the thing. Can a South African win? Can a South African win the King of the Air? And I always said, like, maybe they didn't have the technical side of it, but the scoring format, as you know, is set up more for just two big tricks, right?
Yep.
So it's a little bit. I was just saying to Mike, it's a little bit in the middle of the Megaloop, which is a single trick, versus the King of the Air, which is three tricks plus the impression score. Yeah. So it's right in the middle of that, and it actually might be the best format.
I think so too. And
by the way, we gave Michael Ericsson a good shout out on the podcast for the scoring system.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And
the writers were talking very highly of it.
He was so stoked about it afterwards, and I could play some of the clips he sent to me. It was amazing to get to be part of it and get those kind of words from Mike, and so I'm super stoked about the whole thing. And so for people to understand, I built a scoring system called heatscoring.com, and I built that like a pet project because I was doing competitions here in Sweden, and then that system has grown a little bit, and it was part of the Cold Hawaii, which was the flight event for Coda in Denmark, and also now Mike used it for the beer kitely in Cape Town, and I was like a little bit nervous, I must say, because every other time that the system has been used, I've been the super user. I've been the admin. I've been controlling the competition. And this time, literally, it wasn't a week ago that I got a text from Mike saying, "Hey, Michael, can we use your system for a competition in Cape Town?" I was like, "Sure. When do you want it?" "Well, the competition will probably be on Thursday." I was like, "Okay, but I need ladders, and so I set everything up there on Sunday evening, I think. And then on Tuesday, I had 1 hour with the whole judging team and the exec team for the competition. 1 hour on Zoom, and then they tested, tried the system. I reset the system on Wednesday evening, and then on Thursday I saw like a text like, okay, the first possible start within an hour, and it was quite fun because I was sitting here in Sweden, working. And then I text the guys in the judging team saying, "Hey guys, what's the plan? Are we starting the competition?" And I got back, "Dude, we're in heat 3 already." so they have started. They started the whole competition. They used the system, and I could just relax. I can sit here and just see everything happening. From the live stream. The live streams that I found a little bit on Instagram, etc. And it was so enjoyable for me to see the system work so good, and they being able just to having a blast in the competition, not worrying about scoring system, and I can see the live scoring coming in it was amazing, mate, to see this happen, and I was so happy about how stoked and psyched they were about the competition in whole, but also that I can actually do support the competition in my way from here from Sweden. So yeah,
I mean, let's take it back to the first part of the question. Big Air Kite League was massive. I mean, let's be honest. It was massive. The conditions, how well it run. I mean, look, we thought, and this, I know this might ruffle a few feathers, but if people thought cold Hawaii was good, I mean, this was next level. I mean, the riding, the scoring, the conditions, and guess what it was for? Bragging rights. There was nothing on the line. It was just riders riding for each other, and it was incredible. I'm looking forward to the footage coming out. They didn't have the live stream, but they have done a lot of video footage. Yeah, they have a lot of footage, and they're going to actually release 2 or 3 edits about the event, which I'm looking forward to because, man, there was some amazing heats. I mean, I would put it this way: there was nothing. I was only watching, battle.heatscoring.com, and I was still interested.
You didn't see any. There wasn't a lot on someone screaming.
A little bit here and there. It didn't really. It wasn't until the final when Graham from Dirty Habits rocked up, and he put his one on, and they got a big thing, and then also Big Air Kite League got on. But that's the testimony of that's the testimony. That's the testament to how good it was that people were just watching a scoring screen.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any numbers of how many people were watching?
Yeah, we had like was it like 2,500 people watching the scoring the start page, and I think it topped out on like 800 unique at one single point. So it was big. It could have been. I thought it could have been a little bit bigger, but you know what? If I think what was lacking in to be able to make it really big and a live sense of way is some sort of streaming, some sort of live feed coming in, and because just seeing the scores coming in, I think it's interesting for us that are really interested about it. But look at the I don't think it's for the big crowd.
But saying that, I asked Mike, and he said it wasn't high priority. But I kind of feel that they're doing that because they're going to bring out a nice edit.
Yeah. And I actually talked to them about it as well, and I said, let's make like a small images in the video where you can have the scoring in there, and they say let's do that. So they will come up with something in a few days, I guess. Yeah. The interesting part is if you look at where the traffic came from countries, it wasn't all like South Africa and Europe. It was from the US. It was from everywhere. So people went in and looked at the scoring, and of course most people came in and in the finals. So but talking about comparing to cold Hawaii, I think cold Hawaii was it was like a bigger machinery in terms of what they did and the seriosity of it, and as you said as well, the price of that was a ticket to King of the Air. But look at the names in this. I mean, the startup. What do you say? The
seven. Well, they had seven. Well, put this way, they had 7 King of the Air riders alone in this heat, and there could have been more, right? There was more guys down there who didn't ride. I mean, as I was just saying to one of the boys in the podcast just today, it's actually a real testament to Aaron to actually put his name in there and compete.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 5-time champion of the world, 2-time King of the Air, you could easily say, "Oh, I don't want to do this. There's nothing on the line for me. There's nothing for me to do this." But for him to put his name in there and ride, I think it's just fantastic. And I mean, look at this guy, Josh Gillett.
Oh, he's 15. Man, that
15.
Yeah.
I mean, he barely missed out on the final. He barely missed out on the final up against Stephen Eckersdijk.
I saw that. I was watching that really closely because I saw the scores coming in as well.
At one stage, it looked like it was in, right? Stephen scored right at the end. But I mean, it was Stephen Eckersdijk. I mean, people sort of don't rate this guy, but he is a semi-finalist or final almost at every single event he's in. I mean, he's got very, very consistent operator when it comes to competition riding. But Josh was impressive. A lot of young guys. Oh, look, it was just fantastic. Yeah. I mean, he basically nailed it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was the heat number 2 in the competition. You text me about it and say, "Oh, Michael, what a heat!" It was Stig, the Stig and Janek and Stuart Downey in one heat. It's like. Yeah.
Was that just was it random selection?
Yeah, it was. We had all the names, and since we didn't have a really good ranking, in terms of previous results from beer, kite league, etc. So we just randomized. I used a small website to randomize a list, and I randomized. So that's how we did it. And I put this up and I said to Mike, does this look okay? And he said, yeah, let's go with this. And we also did the same thing we randomized, people going to round 2 and round 3. It wasn't like a specific system. We wanted to just make a randomized thing. So, yeah. The only heat I felt like maybe we could have done. Maybe this could have been a bit more, if we had any ranking there. Which was that? I think it was, heat 13 maybe, looking at Janek up against Aaron, and Stig. But the other heats are amazing as well.
Semi-final number 1.
Yeah, semi-final number.
Yeah, but that's just the way it turned out, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so we couldn't have done anything else.
That could have been a final, right? That could have been a final.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I mean, look, the final was again, the final was like a King of the Air final. I mean, it was that sort of intensity. But look, it was just made. I mean, whether it was the conditions, whether it was the riders. Whether it was just the quality of the fleet, whether it was the attitudes of people on the day, mate, it was a home run.
Yeah, it was
absolutely. It was perfect. I mean, they couldn't have nailed it any better.
No, I agree. It was an amazing. And another thing, just start with the final heat because Aaron Hadlow, Ross Dillon player, and Stephen Eckersdijk, and it was so close between all these 3 guys. And I think Ross Dillon won it. He won it because he had 2 massive tricks in there. I think Aaron actually had the highest single score.
Aaron had the highest trick here, the big ball.
But Ross Dillon had the second and third. See, that was super close. And also looking at variety score from these guys, they were also very, very close. So that was a close heat. And Stephen Eckersdijk, of course, did amazing too. Have you seen, because these guys have posted out some of the clips from their tricks from the final? Little.
I mean, I haven't really gone through it as much as I've just been too busy. But
yeah.
that Aaron actually had a massive crash. I don't know if you heard about this. Aaron crashed twice, right? And one of those crashes, the lines actually wrapped around his legs.
Oh yeah,
he actually got pulled as the kite flicked up. It actually flicked him out, but it could have been a real problem. Yeah, could have been a real problem. Like he actually got tangled in the line. The bar went behind his back and around his legs. So he was pretty lucky. But I mean, two crashes in a 10-minute final. I mean, I know it was. I don't know really what happened in the final. Whether it's supposed to be 12 or 10. There's a bit of confusion. But 2 crashes without your board, and still get up there and lose by 0.4. I think he lost by
0.47.
But listen, I mean,
but I saw someone helping him get his board back in the final. And that is to me, of course, as well, a massive testament to these guys. How they want to have a clean heat. They want to have So I saw one of his crashes on the stream from Graham, and that took a board back to him.
What I was about to say was that I can't remember. I was just about to say something and just ran away from my mind, but I'll think about it in a second.
Was it I heard that they had to drive to the...
Clement knocked himself out.
Oh, that's why he didn't get so many scores in his final league. All right.
So Clement was taken to hospital. He got a concussion.
Is he okay? Do you know?
Yeah, he's okay. He's out. He's just doesn't remember anything.
All right.
So I never saw that. Again, there was no footage. Maybe we'll see the crash. Maybe we'll see the crash later. But I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it is now. Can't be that. It'll come to me later.
Yeah, it'll come to you. Did you know that they also had a semi-pro competition?
I actually did. I did know that was going to happen. I'd actually heard from friends who had their friends were riding in it, so I did know. But that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool that I think there were a couple of young guys in there. Mike brought up a good point in the podcast that girl Francesca, she is doing laid backs, and he said I think there's only 3 girls in the world who can do a laid back, which is Anjali, Pippa, and now her. And I guess I think she's super young, so that could be a name for the future. And it looks like that's good. There's actually some more females getting involved as well. So but look, it was just everything was right. I think it was super windy. And again, like I was saying, like the pivot strikes back, right? It was just this, this pivot. You can never get rid of this pivot. Like it's back on the top there,
Yeah. I saw. I didn't. It was really hard to see what kind of kites they were riding.
Well, it was a pivot, a GTS, and a dice in the final. But mate, the pivot just seemed to be going so much higher. I mean, Ross just seemed to be as high as. Again, but like when Kevin was riding it, just seemed to be higher than everybody else,
Yeah, and that's what. So Aaron was riding a dice,
9 meter dice,
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, as you talked to in your podcast with Get High with Mike McDonough as well, and he said that we will see more of these kind of kites in the competition as well, and just to get the height, and as long as they have like a 70% scoring of heights. Then of course it makes total sense.
45 knots, man. They're riding 9 meter kites.
It's
kind of crazy, right? Yeah. I always tell people, I say, listen, do not ride what you see at King of the Air. You will die. You will not be able to hold on to 9 meters and 45 knots. It's impossible. You have to be. It's a real testament to their skill.
Yeah.
What those guys can hold down is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. Although Ross did say to me, he didn't actually have an 8 with him. And if he had an 8, he would have ridden it. And he said he thinks he would have gone higher with the 8, but it was just the way it was,
Yeah, and I saw videos from the guys on the beach, and both I think it was Janek and who was it, Aaron? I think they had the kite was pulling them so hard they had almost trouble standing still, and just so they would seem to be quite gusty as well, and then just head out straight out in the water and just do a massive loop. It's like, I'm so impressed by what they can do, So
it's unbelievable. I mean, if you ever think that you can compete at this level, you're wrong.
You're
dreaming. Unless you're one of these young guys like Max Tullett, listen to this. You go for it. But
for me, I'm super stoked just to be part of it in any way, having the system that can make these kind of competitions help them make it to take it to the next level. Instead of think about having pen and paper in 45 knots. One of the papers blowing away and trying to find that again with the scoring.
I think the scoreboards they were up in an apartment.
Yeah, they were. I know.
Yeah, right up on the beach. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't even use it. Dude, you wouldn't even be able to use a computer in that sand.
No.
You wouldn't be able to use a computer. It would just be an absolute mess. But it was. Oh, look, mate. It was just. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it has put Big Air. If Big Air Kite League wasn't on the map, it's on the map now. You know, and that,
sure.
I think that if they're looking to get Tatajuba, make that a Fly 2 qualifier. If he can get that down, I think that's going to open the door. I guess most of you will listen to this podcast by the time this comes out. Mike is obviously saying that the next big step is to create a 6-stop tour away from the national events. Now, the national events will be for people who want to do, like Sweden, you want to put on your own event and stuff like that under the moniker, fine. Yep. But they want to look for sponsors and get do a proper tour. That's what he wants to do now. Really do a tour like Tarifa, Cape Town, Tarifa, Holland. He was saying Madeira Island, maybe in maybe in Pingu Islands in Taiwan as well. So let's see if they can do it. I think maybe, look, this year I don't know. I think this situation is not going away. So I think that this year will probably be the Tatajuba, or if you guys can do something in Sweden or something like that.
We will do one in Sweden, but it will. I don't think it will. It will probably be most local guys, and we are not.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what he's saying. He said there will be the big Air Kite League national events, like what you were doing. Yeah. Like where national bodies put them on, and then there will be our tour, the big Air Kite League tour that we put on. And I don't think that. Whether they get anything done this year, I have no idea. I mean, I don't think they're going to be offering Fly 2s this year, because what's the point? They've still got a full fleet to fly at the end of the year, you know? Yeah. But hey, let's speak about Ross Dillon Player. Yeah. I mean, for a guy who was left out of the King of the Air this year, you know, he's a major winner. He won the Mega Loop 2019. To be left out, I mean, what a statement to come back and say, hey, don't forget about me. Mm-hmm.
How was the talk you had with him?
Mate, he's absolutely over the moon, absolutely stoked. He's had a tough year. I don't know if you know, he went to Hawaii. He came back. Went back into lockdown. He didn't ride at all. Just really respected the rules. And then he, when it was open again, he just had a couple of Nash guys there, and Nico Gambier and a whole bunch of guys, and he just trained very, very hard. And he went into this with that, and we hear this all the time, right? He went into this competition with that classic, man, I don't really care what happens. I'm just going to have fun and learn a little bit. Got to the final, and again, he went in there and said, man, if I come third here, man, this is unbelievable. But he won. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great story, and I really hope the Red Bull guys look at that and think, mate, we messed up not putting him in.
Maybe changing one of the wild cards, do you think? Maybe it's time for that?
Well, apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently, well, I mean, where's Anjali? I was just saying today, I haven't seen Anjali put out a big air edit in 18 months. Not one.
I saw one. She had one story on Instagram, I think, where I saw her
story on Instagram.
But it's not. I haven't seen much. No.
Not like before. No. Leading to 2020, she was pushing hard, right, to prove a point. I mean, Ayrton. He's Red Bull. Apparently, that's enough. Yeah. I don't know if you heard on that. I don't know if you heard on the Megapod when we were joking. Maybe there's a bad boy of winging turns up, and he's a Red Bull rider, and you never know. Maybe there's going to be a guy on a wing in it one day.
Yeah. Let's hope not. Let's hope.
Yeah,
not.
Let's hope not.
That would be worse than the distance battle, right?
Right. I think we're going to see the distance battle again at this rate. I think we'll see some form of it anyway, but maybe in a different form. Maybe like everyone can put in a 5-minute piece or a 5-minute edit, and it's voted on or something like that. But,
either that, or we get everyone to be part of the Kite Games and have that as a fun thing to do instead.
How's that going? Have you got people starting to sign up again?
Yeah, we have, to be honest, I mean, as you said, I expect a lot of teams coming in from the Northern Europe, like Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Holland, those kind of countries where we had the last competition from as well. But to be honest, we just had the ice breaking now. We have 15 teams already registered. Wow. So awesome. It's I think it's going to be bigger this year for sure than last year. How big? I don't know. But let's hope for a lot of teams in there, and not as a competition, but just to have something fun to watch and to do, of course, as well. I will be part of it for sure. I will continue to, and I try to make new tricks that I could expand my kiting skills with as well. So
good for you.
Yeah, good for me. Yeah. I won't have as much time this year as I had last year, of course, but I will still push it and do as good as I can.
Well, I mean, going back to the success of the Kite League, I hope this rubs off on heat scoring too. And if it starts getting bigger and goes bigger, that's only going to benefit you, which is great.
Yeah. And now I'm really confident that whatever happens, how many requests I do get, the system will cope with it, because this was as I said, it was the first time the system was running, without me, and it went super smooth. And just the fact that they said, the evening before the competition, they said, "Oh, can we add another competition in there? We want to have the semi-pro. Can we add that? Yeah, sure. Let's add that in there."
It's easy when it's only 6 names, right?
Yeah. But it doesn't really matter, because the system, they had to switch between 2 active competition at the same time. And if usually I have it like on different domains, so you can have like, we had coldhawaii.heatscoring.com, and then we have biggerkiteleague.heatscoring.com. That's 2 different systems, but now we had 2 competitions being active at the same time in the same system. So that was a way of pressuring the system as well. So I'm super confident that if people want to use it and they start to ask for it, it will work. I'm confident that it will work. Might find something, but it's a
if you haven't seen bakl.heatscoring.com, put it in the chat. Put it down below and go check it out. What the cool thing about that is, it keeps all the heats up from the whole day. You don't have to wait or flick back through or search it. It's got the active heat at the top, and then it's got all the heats, which I think is really cool. I wonder if you can keep it that it can show the trick scores the whole time. Is that just too much? The 2 best trick scores. How you got the active scores at the top.
You mean seeing it in afterwards now?
So when it goes down after, instead of you just saying, Kevin Langray 15.7, Adrian Kerr 14.2. Whatever.
What I'm actually planning to do is that now, when the heat is over, and you only see like the total score and the ranking, that you can click on that heat name and go and see the whole heat.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. The reason why we haven't had that before is because I think I need to make it like a option to do that, because in some competitions they don't want to be to show the exact scores and everything. So but
they don't want people with their calculators adding it up in case it's wrong.
No, exactly. Yeah, but
because there is an impression score in there that we don't know about, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the impression score can be there as well. If we're fine with, if the organizers are fine with that, and I don't think that it's because there's people thinking that the system is calculating wrong, but especially if you're looking at Cold Hawaii, when we had the trick name as well, so it said
LB, laid back,
exactly. Whatever. And then there are some, if there are 3 riders in a heat, it might be that the trick caller is calling the wrong trick. It doesn't really matter. If we see that there's a faulty there that makes a difference on the score, we will for sure change that. But if not, then we just go on with the competition. But being able to go in there and see those details might end up people coming to the judging booth saying this is wrong, we won't, I think that's why we didn't want to have that on Cold Hawaii. At least we knew that we were doing the right thing, but maybe there could be some small things that people could end up nagging about, and but that's a good point. I will add that for sure, because it's a good thing to be able to have.
I thought it was good. I mean, it's good, So,
and I just want to also tell you that since I was part of the team here, I got a little bit of background insight from what the riders and the team actually thought. And to be honest, it seemed that most of them thought that this competition was better than King of the Air ever been. Of course, it's a big competition in terms of people viewing it, etc., the crowd. But the guys on the beach that have been, seeing a lot of King of the Air competitions were saying, Mike, this was better than King of the Air had ever been. And that's amazing to see, thinking he pulled that off, or they pulled that off in just a few days. And of course, with those kind of conditions they had, it helps. But
sure,
it's amazing to hear.
Well, what I said to him, they've got the assets there. The assets are the riders, right? When you've got riders, mate, it's that Mike. If you listen to the podcast, he used that saying, build it and they will come. If you've got assets in the neighborhood and you put on a competition, guys will turn up. Hey, if you've got no assets and you put on a competition, no one comes. It's gonna be bad, right? And when you've got assets of that quality, you put on a competition, you create magic. And I don't know what it was that day, whether it was the conditions, the riders, the scoring, whatever it was. It just worked that day. Maybe it wouldn't have worked another day. Who knows? It was that day was.
Yeah. I think as you said, I think adding all those things up is what made it. The preparation, the smoothness, the wind quality, everything, and I also think that people are so happy to be able to kite and to be able to have a competition. That everyone's really laid back and just made the best out of the conditions that we had, and I think that made it one of the things also that made it so good. So yeah,
absolutely.
Let's hope for more competitions like this.
Definitely, I think it's the event the riders want to ride in.
Yeah, exactly. And as Mike say as well, BR Kite League is by the riders for the riders. So it's by
the riders for the riders. I like it.
Or the other way around. It doesn't really matter. But that's the essence of it.
It's good.
Okay. I think we're done there. I don't think it's much more we can praise this this competition with. And let's hope for a lot more BR Kite League's competition to come as well. We know, as you said, that Brazil Tatajuba will be again. So and we will run on in Sweden. I will try to make sure that we can live stream that, even though it won't be as epic as.
Well, I think I expect nothing worse from you Swedes. I expect to be a full HD stream.
I'll try to. And also I would try to, if we can make it like a Nordic competition, and then we can probably have some quite big names in there as well, or potentially really good riders. So that could make an epic competition for sure. So let's hope for that. All right, mate.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you so much for this episode, and let's talk soon again. And just make we're happy that things are happening as well. Then we have something fun to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, mate. Bye.